Well, hello. I wanted to give an update on my shoulder surgery. As you can see, I'm not wearing my sling right now. I got my arm resting, doing a little PT. I just got out of the shower, so I had the sling off, and I'll put it on here in a minute. But I wanted to do an updated video because since the last video, which was 4 days after my surgery, we are now just over 2 weeks after my surgery. This week I had my stitches removed. And so I had that done on, I think, Thursday. And there was a little bit of blood on one when they pulled it out, but no big deal. I kept the bandages on until today. Took them off after the shower, and there's no more, not bleeding. So they're good. I did have 5 holes, which I haven't talked to the surgeon about yet. But my guess is that I had retraction, and he had to find the supraspinatus in there because it pulled apart. This is my guess, or he needed additional holes for the bone spur he removed. But anyway, so I haven't talked to the surgeon yet, so that's fine. But the other thing is I started PT. So on Wednesday, the day before I had the stitches removed, I did PT for the first time. I also did it on Friday, so I'm going 3 times a week. And I have assignments to do when I'm at home, and I'm going to do here in a minute because some of it really kind of need to take off the sling. I don't have to, don't need to, but it helps, makes it a little easier. I do remove the sling at home, and as long as I have a place to rest my arm and just take a break from it, it's very annoying. But I really wanted to give you an update on sleeping, because I was 4 days into it. I was taking Oxy at night before I went to bed, which of course was probably messing with my sleep. And if you're going to take opioids, you probably want to consider taking a stool softener while you're at it, because the opioids will do that to you. The Gernex, I stopped taking the Gernex the day of PT, which was probably a mistake. I probably should have waited a couple days after the PT started, because the first day of PT was pretty rough. The day after was pretty rough. You could tell I had worked it out. So that was probably the worst pain in almost the 2 weeks since the first couple days after surgery, since the last video was right after PT the first time. Second time, not so bad, but it is what it is. So, but I have not taken the opioids anymore. I did take one. I had stopped a couple days earlier, but I did take one the night after PT because I want to make sure I could sleep. But sleep has been a hit or miss. A lot of times I get up in the middle of the night. I mentioned I sleep with wedge pillows in the bed. It does help, but it's not 100%. I went up in the chair, chair with the controls on the side I didn't have surgery on, and that works out well. But some nights you just don't sleep very well, and that's just the way it is. Last night was the first night I went to bed my normal time. I try to keep a regular sleep because you wind up being tired, so you take naps in the day. So I kind of push it when I'm tired sometimes so I can stay up to my regular sleep time, keep my sleep cycle normal. Last night I went to bed and I didn't wake up. I did wake up to go to the bathroom, but that's probably some other medicine I take like 4:30 in the morning, which is pretty normal. And I went back to bed in the same bed. My shoulder didn't bother me, so I was just like fine. And when I laid down, I was like, wow, it would be nice. And I had the sling on, of course, because you shouldn't do anything without it on. I laid down and I rolled on my right side a little bit, and it didn't bother me at all. So my arm kind of came in quite a bit, and it didn't bother me at all. So I was like, all right, well, I'll stay like this for a while, and I fell asleep. Well, at some point, my wife woke up in the middle of the night and realized I was laying on my arm, and she was upset, but she let me sleep. And I woke up, she asked how it was, and it was fine. It was just in the sling, and it was just where it was supposed to be. So I think the pain is really going away now, just over 2 weeks after. I think I'm well on my way to recovery, and I'll probably give you another update here in a couple weeks. But can't imagine too much is going to change. PT is not fun, but 3 times a week I do my exercise on my own. I probably push the sling off when I'm at home. You just got to be careful you're not doing anything you shouldn't do. Talking to that PT guy, basically says just don't raise the arm is the biggest thing, because that's what we're not ready for unless it's supported. So that being said, doing certain things are difficult. Taking a shower, things like that. It does get easier. When I want to put on deodorant, I put my hand on the counter and I back up a little bit. It raises and supports the arm, and then I can get my arm up enough to put it in deodorant, that kind of stuff. I put on my shirt, that arm first. Pulling up my pants and stuff's gotten a little easier because I got more mobility in it, even with the sling on. So it does get easier, but the first, 7 days are pretty rough. After that, it starts getting a little better. 2 weeks in, now I feel like, okay, well, I just have limited mobility. Hardly any pain now. Occasionally, if I do something, you know, twist it or pull it or something like that, and you feel something. But PT obviously hurts, but nothing where I need anything more than Tylenol for. Off all the pain meds, which is nice. The Gernex, I'm not really sure how well it worked or didn't work. I've heard people say it does some and love it. Others said I don't know what it does. So love to hear your comments and what your experience with it is, because I only started taking it after surgery. So, and then I got off it 2 weeks later. So, and I never used it all, and I never used all the oxy they gave me, and just no need to. But they did offer me refills, and I denied them. I said, no, I don't want it, just because don't need to be on that crap if you can help it. So, but that's my second week update. I'm just over 2 weeks now, and as you can see, I'm doing certain things, and I'm just being real careful. One of the things I did notice is, in my orders it said no using, zero lifting with the hand, which is important. I couldn't hold a coffee cup in my hand without the sling on. The sling will take up the weight, but I couldn't do it normally. I could feel it in the shoulder. And strenuous activity. I went to do something one day, and it was just a long walk kind of thing, and doing, moving around, actually taking pictures. And I could tell, yeah, that's probably not the best thing to do. So just take it easy. Plan on taking it easy for, at this point, I'm going to tell you at least 2 weeks, probably a month. Taking no strenuous activity. I did some cooking. Again, could tell. Doing things you shouldn't do. Keep the sling on if you need to keep you from getting into trouble. I'm terrible about it. I don't like to follow directions, but I'll go do my PT, and then I'll put my sling back on, because it's important. Don't want to damage it. So, and I'm sure everybody's surgery is a little different. So, I seem to be doing well after just over 2 weeks. But hope that helps. Hope it helps your journey. Let me know if you listen to these or watch these videos, and if your journey is different, I'd love to hear it, because it's just me.